Hello, first graders. It is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. Today for Social Studies, you will be reading Unit 4, Chapter 1, People Long Ago. Okay, so I know the pictures in this lesson are in black and white, but these pictures really weren't taken that long ago. Okay, this is one of my favorites. I love history, and I love just seeing what had happened back in the day. So you guys remember my grandma, we talked about her, and she had passed away around Thanksgiving this year. And before she had passed away, my cousin, who lives down in St. Louis, that was near her, they started this, it's kind of like an online, like a memory book type of a thing. I don't remember what it's called, but we got to choose questions that they would ask her weekly, and they would record her voice telling the story. And so one of the stories before she passed away was about her dad. And honestly, as a kid, like you guys, you don't think to ask stuff like that. You don't think to ask your grandparents certain questions. And me, I didn't think to ask my grandma about her dad. How silly of that. I knew her mom, I knew my great-grandma, but I never knew my great-grandpa. And the funny thing about my great-grandparents are, my great-grandma, Laura, she was 5'3". So she's just a little bit taller than me. No, maybe she's 5'2". I don't know. She's about my height, okay? But my grandpa, my great-grandpa Arno, he was 6'4". So they were, that much height difference. And the pictures are so cool to see of them. But my grandma said that her grandpa used to play in a band, and he would play the tuba. And one night, he had come home from playing with his friends, and she was sitting on the porch with her mom, waiting for him to come home, and she asked if she could play his tuba. And she said, usually that's not something I would ask because, that's not respectable, and it's an expensive piece of property. And she said, he just whipped it right on out and let me blow and, play it. And she said that was one of my favorite memories of my dad, just of how caring he was. And I was like, that is so cool, because I never knew my great-grandpa, and I honestly never asked questions about that. So after reading this story, something I want you to do today is write down, I want to give you a limit, but I don't want to give you a limit. So your minimum is 3. You have to have at least 3. You can have as many questions as you want. You can go up to 20. You can go up to 30. If you have a great-grandparent alive, or a grandma or grandpa that are still alive, go ahead and ask them those questions. Ask them, what was it like when you were growing up? What was your favorite thing to do? What did your dad do? What did your mom do? Did they work from home? Did they own their own business? What did you do for fun? Did you go on any family vacations? What do you remember? Did you fight with your siblings? So many questions you could come up with, and ask them those questions. Because you know what? Once they're gone, they're gone. And those answers and those questions go along with them, and those stories are not told. So go ahead and ask them those questions, because I bet your grandparents or great-grandparents, or even if you're very, very, very lucky to have great-great-grandparents alive, they would love to tell you their stories and to know that they are going to be passed on. So go ahead and ask them those questions. That's your job for today. And I want you to know that, no, I'm not that old. You all know how old I am. I'm 28. But I want you to know that when I was growing up, in order for me to get YouTube videos or get on YouTube, we had this thing called dial-up. So you're like, what? Okay, so these things, you know what they are, right? They had a cord attached to them, and they were mounted onto the wall. Okay, that's where our phone was. Well, when you did dial-up, it connected into your phone, so when you were using the internet, you couldn't use the phone. So I want you to think about that. How much has technology and internet changed in the last, 15 years? Craziness. What's it going to be like in the next 15 years? Stuff is changing all the time. So your job for today, after you get done reading this lesson, is to make some questions, and then you can either write a letter, because you guys are now phenomenal letter writers, or call grandparents or go and visit them. You can sit 6 feet away from them and ask them these questions, because like I said, these stories, once those people are gone, those stories go with them unless they've already been told. So that's just your job for today. That's your homework for today. I want to know, if you do ask questions, I want to know what these stories are. Okay, so keep me posted. Let me know. Good luck. Thank you.